evening and welcome back to the Rory Talks Football channel, your daily Arsenal news updates, debates and my opinions. If you're new to the channel, please do subscribe. We're on the way to 12,300 subscribers. And of course, if you could click the like button, I would be incredibly grateful. There's lots to get into today. It's a Monday. We've got Monday out of the way at this point. And we'll be talking about Eddie Nketiah, these links to Kvaratskhelia, and basically any link that we can just grab hold of for an attacking option. We will be talking about, probably talk a little bit more about the Villa game and what is coming up with the Brighton game. But look, it is good to see plenty of you here already. Pekka, Anubrata, Vivi, Vlad, Hyper, Protagonist, Lord Ferguson of Aberdeen, Woodsy, Jack Sachs, Oslo, Emily, Yo, Sergio, Ross, Lawman, Carter, MC Gaming, Logical Nonsense, Trixie, Leeds Gunner, Umer, Hannah, and many, many more. John P., how is the sore throat? I think it's getting better. I'm still coughing a bit, but I feel like I'm coughing less now than I have been for the last, it's like 10 days it's been at this point. It's crazy. Gareth, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Ben, good to see you as well. Rory, transfer updates, please. We will have all of the transfer updates, as always. We will have the transfer updates. But look, the first major news is on Eddie Nketiah. Obviously, yesterday, the deal or potential deal with Nottingham Forest fell apart. And I said yesterday that it felt strange because he had agreed personal terms and then he pulled out of those personal terms. And I think we know why. I think Crystal Palace had been whispering in his ear and had turned his head. And I think that's why, because actually today, it's rapidly progressed with Crystal Palace. So David Ornstein said Arsenal expected to accept an offer from Crystal Palace to sign Eddie Nketiah. The bid is worth 25 million plus 5 million in add-ons, a similar deal to the Nottingham Forest deal that was already in place. Palace and Arsenal are now in direct talks, and no issue is anticipated on personal terms for the 25-year-old. That was then followed up by Fabrizio Romano, who said after an official bid from Crystal Palace to Arsenal was revealed earlier, agreement is done between Crystal Palace and Eddie Nketiah's camp on personal terms. Contract in place, salary agreed, and the final details being sorted to prepare all documents. Club-to-club agreement is getting closer. So it does sound like that deal is going to go ahead. Apparently, Glasner, the Crystal Palace manager, basically told Eddie Nketiah to hold on before he agreed to moving to Forest. He said, hold on. Just hold on, hear us out. And yeah, now it sounds like he's moving to Crystal Palace. And look, it's probably a better move for him. It keeps him in London. They are more of a solidified Premier League team. I think Nottingham Forest will be absolutely fine this season. But Crystal Palace are more solidified, probably more stable. I think he's much closer to the starting 11 at Palace. There's less competition in the way. It is only Jean-Philippe Mateta. And so I'm happy for him. I'm happy for him. When shall the Twitch streams return? Soon. Twitch is like, because it's the thing that I don't have to do. I just do it for fun. In terms of the things that I've stopped doing whilst my throat is bad, that's kind of unfortunately, the bottom priority to return. But I'm hoping to bring it back a bit this week. Unfortunately, I am then going on holiday next week, so there won't be any streams anywhere. But such is life. The evenings haven't been the same for me either, Gareth. I miss it. Rory, can you do a massive deadline day live, please? Yeah, possibly. We'll definitely go live on deadline day. I don't know. The thing is, it really depends what Arsenal are doing, right? If there's a possibility that we're going to sign someone on deadline day, I'll do like a big long live stream. If we're all wrapped up and done and we're not doing anything, I probably won't. We'll just do the normal stream. Did Edouard leave Palace? No. Odsonne Edouard's still at Palace, but he is nowhere near as good as Eddie Nketiah. Again with the holes. I haven't been on holiday. This is the first time I've been on holiday in like a year. Apart from Rome. But that was like a weekend exploration, you know. It's clear Arsenal will buy a top 9. I don't think it is clear that Arsenal. I don't think Arsenal will. Maybe long term, but this summer I don't think Arsenal are going to buy a 9. I don't think Arsenal are going to buy a 9. I think if we are going to sign anyone, it'll be a winger. I think if you look at where we're being linked to, I think it'll be a winger that we sign. So this is the week I get to watch Arsenal. Cannot wait for it. You'll love to see it. You'll love to see it. I still need to get my Brighton ticket, actually. I do still need to get my ticket for Brighton. The Champions League draw is at 5, by the way. Oh, wow, quite late. Why is it at 5? That's so obnoxious. Normally it's... I swear it's normally at, like, lunchtime, isn't it? That's really annoying. That is really annoying. Okay, well, we'll go live for it anyway, probably. Or maybe we'll just react to it on the normal stream. We'll probably just react to it on the normal stream in that case, actually, I think. It's at 5 p.m. on Thursday, but we'll be going live at 6:30 anyway, so we'll just react. We'll react to it on Thursday at 6:30. What's your dream forward signing? Viktor Gyökeres. It is Viktor Gyökeres. It has been Viktor Gyökeres. It is still Viktor Gyökeres. And it makes me sad that we're clearly not going to do it. One thing I do wonder, though, right, is we heard time and time again from Fabrizio, from other people, Arsenal had sent scouts to Portugal to watch Viktor Gyökeres. So what did they see? What did they see that I haven't seen? Because if they saw what I've seen, I just don't know why we haven't even tried to sign him. I don't. Justin, Liverpool have inquired for Chiesa. Like, who's that come from? Who's that come from? Why do Liverpool want Chiesa? Like, they need a 6 and probably a centre-back. Why are they in for Chiesa? They've got, in the attack, they've got Diaz, Jota, Salah, Nunez, Gakpo, Harvey Elliott. Like, they're not short in attack. From Fabrizio, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's not ideal for us wanting Rafinha either. It's not ideal. Apparently, as well, that the hypothesis I proposed yesterday about Chiesa to Barca because they needed to get wages off their books so that they could register Dani Olmo. Christensen, the centre-back, has picked up a long-term injury, which has basically allowed them to register Dani Olmo. I have no idea how that works, but apparently because of the long-term injury to Christensen, they've signed Dani Olmo, which is annoying. Or they've registered Dani Olmo. So they no longer have that issue, which is frustrating. Anyway, look. Let's get into some of these links. On Nketiah, I honestly think fair play to the club, first of all, right? Because the club held out for the money. They knew that there were multiple teams interested. Even when the rest of us, and when I say the rest of us, I mean me, were panicking and saying we should have accepted the money from Marseille, etc., etc. The club held on. And actually, it's impressive that they managed to get the same deal from Palace that they were going to get from Forest. And that suggests to me that potentially there were even more people interested beyond that. Because otherwise, Palace might have turned around and said, well, you know, there's 4 days left until the end of the transfer window and you need to sell him. But the fact that we've still managed to get a package worth 30 million for him, you know, I think all said and done, 30 million for him, 35 million for Emil Smith-Rowe, 65 million between the two of them. That's not bad. That's not bad going. Osimhen's demanding 400k a week. Yeah, we're not getting Osimhen. Well, okay, so this is the thing, right? So according to Francois Plateau, Arsenal have explored a move for Napoli winger Kvaratskhelia with any potential deal dependent on what happens with Victor Osimhen. Arsenal are ready to pull the trigger if Napoli give the green light in the coming days. Okay? So Francois Plateau, I've got no idea. I don't think he's a good source. All right? He's not a reputable source. You know, you could say maybe Francois Plateau, maybe his career is plateauing And that's why he's pulling Kvaratskhelia out of the hat and throwing Arsenal's name to it. I don't think this is going to happen. I really don't. I think the only thing I'd say is Napoli have to sell one of Osimhen and Kvaratskhelia. They have to. They've got no money. They've got or very little money. They've spent money this summer. They need to raise money. So if Osimhen doesn't happen, I get the Kvaratskhelia link. The issue with that is, I'm pretty sure Antonio Conte literally said, I will leave Napoli if we sell Kvaratskhelia. He is his number one untouchable player. Not going anywhere. He's staying. And so I just don't think that the club would sell him at that. Yeah, they've got a Champions League wage list and they're not even playing in Europe, right? Napoli have issues. And they are really struggling to sell Victor Osimhen because no one wants to pay his wages. You know, the rumours are that Osimhen wants 400 to 500k. That's insane. Absolutely insane, right? You'd be talking about the majority of Premier League clubs would have to, or the majority of clubs in the world would have to massively break their wage structure to pay for him. The most recent link for Osimhen is Saudi Arabia. And it seems like that's the best bet. But it's tricky. It's tricky. Gyökeres isn't a market opportunity. Osimhen is. Osimhen's only a market opportunity if you're paying him 250 grand a week. Osimhen on 400 grand a week. I mean, spread that out. Spread that out over. Let's say you put him on a 5-year contract. Let's say you put him on a 5-year contract. That's what 105-year contract. That's what 260 weeks. You look at that. That's yeah, 400 grand a week. You'd be looking at paying 104 million quid in wages alone. That's too much money. That's too much money. It's a market opportunity if you can get him, because apparently, right? So the bid from Saudi Arabia for Victor Osimhen is at 65 million euros. And by the way, those of you that were here like way earlier in the summer will remember I said Osimhen's price will come down massively. Remember at the start of the window, Napoli were talking about wanting 120 million for him. And they're listening to an offer from Saudi Arabia that's 65 million. So you can get a bargain on his fee, but the wages are insane. The wages are insane. No worries, Ethan. Good to see you. Good to see you. I would love Rodrigo. I think he's staying. We will wait for Sesko. This is the thing, right? We may well, in terms of the number 9, we might wait for Benjamin Sesko. We know for a fact we wanted Benjamin Sesko this summer. We might. I think we might go for him again next summer. And I do think we're going to go for a winger. I think the winger is the thing that if we sign anyone between now and the deadline, it'll be a winger. I really, really don't think it'll be a 9. Marino taking the 8 and Ødegaard moving to 10 and coming. Not sure. By the way, the fact that we still haven't announced Mikel Merino, don't take this as gospel because it's purely my own speculation. But if I was Arsenal and I knew that we weren't going to sign anyone else between now and the deadline, and I knew that that would annoy the fan base quite a lot, I would hold back the Merino announcement so that you can drop the Merino announcement later in the week and people feel less agitated. So that may well be why we still haven't done the announcement, because he's been in England for what, like 3 or 4 days now? Are you all right? Sorry, the dog's kicking off here. What? You haven't been on stream. Do you want to come on stream? She's not been on stream for a while. There you go. Look, you're on camera. Whoop, whoop. You happy now? Are you happy? Just she's reading the chat. She's reading the chat. Okay. Well, I'm going to let you out. There you Go on, go to mum. Good job. There you go. For audio listeners, I apologise. I was just showing the dog and you didn't see it. But no, in terms of whatever I was saying, oh yeah, wingers. Oh, deadline day. Yeah, Marino. We'll announce Marino when it's convenient, I think, because he's been in London for a while. Is this the new VAR official? She'd do a better job than me. She would do a better job than me. If we don't sign anyone else, I will be fucking pissed. That's why I think we might be holding back the Marino deal to dampen the anger of the to dampen the anger of people, basically. Don't we need to get rid of Nelson? We do. We do. Look, Reece Nelson. Well, obviously there's Eddie, but we assume he is going to go. Reece Nelson, Aaron Ramsdale, Jakub Kiwior. They are still on the chopping block. They are still three players that can and will, in an ideal world, leave in the next few days. I'll be shocked. I'll be shocked if Ramsdale stays. I would be shocked if Ramsdale stays. Do you think that Marino was in training today and they hid him from the photos and videos? Maybe. Not sure, actually. That's a good point. Nearly 130 million for academy players in the past few years for Flo, Eddie, ESR, Willock. Amazing business. Really hope fans start giving Eddie his flowers. Yeah, it's decent. It's decent. And do you know what, right? 2 years ago, we could have lost Eddie and Nketiah on a free. 2 years ago, Eddie could have gone on a free in 2022. We kept him. Fair enough. I think the wages that we gave him were a little bit too much. But ultimately, it's meant that 2 years later, instead of losing him on a free, we've sold him for 30 million, which is actually good business. It is good business. I'm still extremely confident we'll get an attacker. Okay, so these are the other ones that are available. Kvaratskhelia, I just don't see it. It would be unbelievable, right? It would be an unbelievable signing. In terms of, if you're talking about having someone on the left-hand side that can make something out of nothing, that's one thing I think you can look at with Arsenal is how many of our players can truly create something from nothing. I think Ødegaard can. I think Saka can. Outside of that, I think we struggle a little bit. So he would be unbelievable off the left-hand side. There's no doubt about it. I just don't. Napoli aren't going to let him go. I'd be absolutely shocked. Antonio Conte would be livid. Absolutely livid. Another player that we were linked to today, caught offside is the source. So take it with a fistful of salt. Sources close to caught offside have acknowledged that Arsenal are keeping a watching brief on Andreas Skov Olsen. Club Brugge have set a price tag in the region of 25 to 30 million euros for the winger. So Andreas Skov Olsen. New, thank you very, very much for the $4.99 super chat. Sociedad Journos are saying they'll announce his departure tomorrow. We'll probably announce his arrival tomorrow too. There you go. There you go. Hopefully we will. Hopefully we will. Thank you very, very much for the $4.99 super chat, though. That is incredibly generous of you, and I am incredibly grateful. Thought mob time? Yeah, we could. Why not? Why not? Let's have a gander at Andreas Skov Olsen. I think we actually... I've got a feeling we did look at him earlier in the... I've got a feeling we did look at him earlier in the summer. I remember someone wanted to look at him earlier in the summer. But here we go. So I think he's quite tall. Does anyone know what 180 centimeters is? Is it that 6'2"? Is it really 6'2"? So he's 6'2", 24 years old, a left-footed 5'10". Oh, this is wrong then. Oh, well, something's wrong here then. Right, let me Google it. Let me Google how tall he is. How tall is Andreas Skov Olsen? Okay, so yeah, so Google says he's 1.87. So this thing's wrong. He's 187 centimeters. So he is like 6'2". Whatever. Anyway, point is, he's tall. He's a left-footed right winger, although he really can play multiple positions. Obviously, look, he's playing in the Belgian league, right? He's playing for Club Bruges over in Belgium. If we look at his stats, we'll look at his stats from last season. Picked up 14 goals last season for Club Bruges. Look at his per 90s. I mean, this is green. This is nice and green. Not sure how many assists did he pick up, I wonder. 0.15 a game. How many picked up 4 assists. So not massively creative. Not hugely creative. Pass accuracy, meh. Yeah, he's a goal scoring winger more than the creator, it has to be said. Successful dribbles, not brilliant. Touches, healthy. And other than that, this is nice. Recoveries, possession 1-5. It looks all right. I mean, look, the greenery check's all right. Looks like he went through a pretty horrible run at the end of the season, though. Oh, no, don't worry. That was preseason. But look, yeah, there you go. That's Andreas Skov Olsen. I mean, does it fix our problems? A young right-wing Trossard, it looks like. Yeah, but a lot taller. I'd love myself a goal-scoring winger. Yeah, I'd quite like a goal-scoring winger. I would quite like a goal. We did a Dingra recently. I don't think it. I will do it. We'll do a Dingra. I don't think his numbers were that good though. Actually, I don't think Adingras were that good. We have been linked to Adingra a little bit again. Yeah, I don't think his numbers. I think Adingra was one that we said was yeah, eye test. Yeah, I remember now. His stats look terrible on FOTMob, but eye test suggests that he's a very good player. So that's fine. Yeah. The eye test is fine. Have you seen Arsenal fans saying Eddie was negatively impacted by Arteta with him picking Palace over Forest as it's the safer option? It's just the better option. But also, why like in terms of Eddie picking the safer option, yes, Crystal Palace is the safer option, but it's not like there's any upside to taking the risk at Forest. Like, okay, you're presented with Palace, Forest. They're offering you the same wages. You're closer to the starting lineup at Palace. Palace are more likely to stay in the Premier League. You get to continue living in London. Apparently, Forest wanted to add a relegation clause in his contract. Like, but I'm not sure why you'd throw all of the advantages of Palace away. I'd get it if it was to maybe play for, I don't know, like a better team in like a foreign league or something. But Palace is just a better option in all ways. So yeah, I can completely understand why he would pick Palace. I think it's a better club for him. I really do. I think he'll develop better there as well. I think Glasner will play better football. I think his link up with players like Eze will be exciting. So I think it works for him. Another bit of winger news. This came from L'Equipe, the old French outlet. Kingsley Coman has decided to leave Bayern Munich before Friday's deadline day. His destination is not yet known, but several English clubs are interested. What are we saying about that? Kingsley Coman, yes or no? Loan. Do you know what? Kingsley Coman loan is what I would do. Do you know what? Actually, we will. Screw it. We'll bring Fatma back up again. Because I think 28 years old, right? His injury history is abysmal. His injury history is really bad. If we bring up last season, this is already on last season. Goal scoring wise, meh. Not awful. Creatively, very, very good. Very, very good. Look at the pass accuracy. 88%. When you compare that to some of the wingers that we've just looked at, very, very good. Crosses, chance creation. This is nice. I like this. Successful dribbles, like, you can dribble with the ball. High touches in the opposition box. Relative to the other players that we've been looking at, Champions League experience, won multiple league titles. This isn't great. I'd like the recoveries to be a little bit better. Session 1 the final third season. Overall, right-footed but can play off either side. So he, if Saka gets injured or can't play a game, Coman can slot in. For me, a loan for Kingsley Coman would be smart. I think of the options that are left available, I think a loan for Kingsley Coman. Now, I will pull up his injury history because it's bad. Kingsley Coman's injury history. Oh, it's fucking awful. You know it's bad. Right? When you go onto the injury history and you're on page 1 of 3. That's when you know you're in trouble. So we're on page 1 of 3 for his injury history. Last season alone, he was out on 5 different occasions. He missed 48 days with an adductor injury. This is just last season. 48 days with an adductor injury. 4 days with muscular problems. 50 days with a knee medial ligament tear. 20 days with a torn muscle fiber. And 3 days with muscular problems. Season before that actually was pretty good for him. He missed 5 days with a knock and he missed 28 days with a torn muscle fiber. 21-22. 21-22. 7 days missed, muscular problems. 7 days missed, muscular problems. 18 days missed, corona. Okay, be unlucky to get that again. 14 days missed, torn muscle fiber. 4 days missed, muscular problems. 25 days missed, heart problems. 7 days missed, calf injury. 7 days missed, minor knock. And that was it. So there's eight separate injuries in 21-22. Most of the time, he misses less than 2 months, right? Back in the day, 17-18, he did a syndesmotic ligament tear that kept him out for 3 months. Then he did another one that kept him out for another 3 months. I mean, it's just awful. It's actually awful. It's 3 full pages as well. It's actually 3 full pages. I mean, it's barbaric, really. So in 23-24, he missed 125 days. 22-23, he missed 33 days. 21-22, he missed 89 days. 20-21, he missed 42 days. 19-20, he missed 81 days. 18-19, he missed 115 days. 17-18, he missed 99 days. 16-17, he missed 145 days. And 15-16, he missed 18 days. So since 2016, his least injured ever season was 22-23, where he missed 33 days. On average, I would say, looking at that, on average, he misses about 80 days a season. It's not ideal. It's not ideal. That's honestly probably the worst injury history I've ever pulled up. I knew it was bad. I didn't know it was that bad. I did not know it was that bad. However, he is a good player. He is a good player. He's a good player. Do you know what? You just have to bring him in and accept the fact that he may well spend time injured. I did see Matheus Nunes going to Atletico Madrid on loan. Yeah, that's one of those, right? You know when people talk about Fabio Vieira, you know when people talk about Arsenal's transfers, and the majority of us would agree. So far, the only kind of bad signing that Arteta and Edu have made for relatively big money was Fabio Vieira, in terms of a signing that's just not worked out. No one talks about, as an example, Matheus Nunes. 50 million quid. Not got a sniff of first-team football for Man City. Now he's going out on loan. But no one talks about it. But Arteta makes one bad, semi-expensive signing in the space of like 4 years. And people hound him for it. Rory, compare Coman's injury history with Jack Wilshere. Genuinely, I reckon Kingsley Coman's is worse. He's not had as many like massive injuries as Wilshere had, but I genuinely do reckon. Let me pull up Jack Wilshere's. I genuinely do reckon Kingsley Coman's is worse because I've just never seen anything like it. So Jack Wilshere had 2 pages worth, so that's a good start. Nah, Jack Wilshere's is worse. Jack Wilshere's is worse. Jack Wilshere's is worse. Jesus Christ. When you actually put it into perspective, 11-12, he missed 412 days. 12-13, he missed 30 days. 13-14, he missed 63 days. 14-15, 126 days. 15-16, 247 days. 16-17, 123 days. 18-19, 220 days. 19-20, 226 days. That is insane. I kind of forgotten just how bad it was for Wilshere. He did 5 years between 14-15 and 19-20. He did 5 consecutive years of over 100 days out injured. And in 3 of those 5 years, he had over 200 days out injured. Jesus Christ. Yeah, okay. I was waffling. It's infinitely worse than Kingsley Coman. Collective free. Yeah, he missed 412 days in a 365-day year. That was his. That was him. No, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Predictions for Brighton game and goal scorers. We'll have the Brighton preview on Friday. Friday night stream will be the Brighton preview. So we'll talk about that then. Yeah, that was horrendous. Sofa score over FOTMob? Not for me. I'm still hoping Rodrigo goes. Can you pull up his FOTMob stats? Ancelotti's getting questioned about him in nearly every press conference. Questioned in what way? Up the likes, people. Yeah, look, there are over 400 of you in the stream. I am going to request one little thing from you. Just click the like button. That's all you got to do. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. That's the obvious thing to do. But yeah, if you could click the like button, I would be incredibly grateful. Who will be our backup goalkeeper if Ramsdale leaves? Joan Garcia. So if Ramsdale goes, it's basically already lined up that we will take Joan Garcia if Ramsdale goes. So I assume that's what will happen anyway, because otherwise we haven't got a backup goalkeeper. How is Osimhen going for 65 million euros? Because the demand isn't there for him. This is what I said would happen. I said this would happen. There's not a market of massively rich teams looking to sign a striker that will get bent over for 120 million euros. Chelsea are the only ones. Chelsea may still get bent over for him. I don't think they will, but yeah, that's why. 400 people, the progress is amazing. It is, honestly. I'm incredibly grateful for the amount of people that turn up to these live streams every night. It is unbelievable. Half price, basically, yeah. Yeah, Napoli should have sold him last summer. Last summer was the time to sell Victor Osimhen. They'd have got over 100 million for him. 100%. But they missed out. And the thing is, right, as well, if you look at it, okay, now, this window's about to end, but if you look ahead to next summer now, if they don't sell him, okay, so Osimhen's going to be on the market, Gyökeres will be on the market, Šeško will be on the market, any new up-and-coming strikers will be on the market. I mean, someone linked this to, it was that Steve guy from Football 365 tried linking us to Evan. He tried linking Man City and Arsenal to Evan Ferguson today. What has even happened to Evan Ferguson? I don't even know what's happened to Evan Ferguson. He had like one really good spell the season before last and then just disappeared. Why do you think Gyökeres isn't happening? No matter how good Havertz has been, I still think we need that Woa. I don't know. Genuinely, it's one of those. His wages would be relatively low because he's never been on high wages. Obviously, moving from Coventry to Sporting, like his wages aren't high. The fee, I think you could negotiate with Sporting. The only thing I can imagine is if teams just don't they don't want to take the gamble on the Portuguese league, because realistically, the vast majority of especially attacking signings, expensive attacking signings that have come out of the Portuguese league have invariably flopped quite badly. And I do wonder if teams are looking at that. And to be fair, like, I posted the goal of Gyökeres's hat-trick goal the other night, and the defending on that goal is genuinely Sunday league level defending. And people were, rightly pointed that out. And so, look, perhaps the sheer quantity of goals that he's scoring is slightly raised by just how poor the defending in that league is, with the kind of lesser teams that are in the league. Gyökeres ain't leaving. Do you know any more about why? Does he not want to leave? Surely. I don't know. If we sign Jean Garcia, would that be an upfront fee to trigger the release clause, or is the fee set with Espanyol? I'm not sure. I'd imagine we'd probably pay a little bit over the release clause for more favourable terms. We need 200 likes. Listen, if you can hit 200 likes, I would be incredibly grateful. PSG did buy Neves for 70 million. Yeah. And they wanted 120 million for him at the start of the summer. So you can negotiate, but did you see Ødegaard miss 3 sitters the last time we went to Villa Park? Yeah, I did, actually. I don't know if it's just a bogey ground for him, but I did see that. Ferguson's been injured and wasn't able to get back in Brighton's team. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, though. The fact he's not been able to get back into their team even when he was fit. I'm just not sure why Arsenal and City would be. I know at one point we were interested in Ferguson, but there we go. Anyway, look, it is time for Guess the Gooner. I'm going to give you 5 clues about an ex or current Arsenal player, and you have to guess who that player is in the chat. First person to get it right wins the immense pride and respect of the Rory Talks Football community. To get your fingers on your keyboards, because we are starting now. Clue number 1, this player is 25 years old. Clue number 1, this player is 25 years old. Clue number 2, they scored 2 goals in 83 games for Arsenal. Clue number 2, they scored 2 goals in 83 games for Arsenal. Clue number 3, they joined Arsenal in 2021. Clue number 3, they joined Arsenal in 2021. Clue number 4, they scored their first ever Arsenal goal last season against Sheffield United. Clue number 4, they scored their first ever Arsenal goal last season against Sheffield United. And clue number 5, they have made 42 appearances for Japan. Clue number 5, they've made 42 appearances for Japan. Who is the player? Who is the player? Right. Here we go. Make sure I don't get VAR checked. It's Ben Williamson with the win. Ben Williamson has won it. It was indeed Takahiro Tomiyasu. And Ben Williamson has won it. Second was Ultra Pro Gamer. Third was Sam Shapiro. Fourth was Still Mart. And fifth was Max Evans. So there you go. Congratulations. Congratulations. It was indeed Tommy. Devin thinks he won. Devin, I'm going to scroll back. You better be right. Okay, he said it there. I'm looking for Devin comments before. No, you said white. Oh, no, you won. Oh, crap. Devin won. I was looking for Tomiyasu, but obviously put Tommy. Goal ruled out. Goal ruled out. Goal given. Devin. God damn it. I'm sorry. Commiserations to Ben Williamson. You were second, though. You were second. It's because Hershey left. It's because Hershey left. He obviously meant Tommy Setford. Yeah, it must have been. It must have been. Anyway, look, this is why we have VAR. You know, VAR is at least in here, when VAR intervenes, the correct decision is made. You know, here VAR works excellently well. It's frustrating how often we have to use VAR. The on-field referee is diabolical, but the VAR works. So there you go. Anyway, it's time for Guess the Non-Gooner. I'm going to give you the entire career path of a player who does not and has not played for Arsenal. And you have to guess who that player is in the chat. First person to get it right wins the immense pride and respect of the Rory Talks Football community, but not as much respect as Devin currently has. This player started their career at the Anderlecht Youth Academy. They started their career at the Anderlecht Youth Academy. They then went to Wolves on loan. They then went to Wolves permanently. They then went to Aston Villa permanently. They then went to Napoli on loan. And they are still at Aston Villa. So Anderlecht, Wolves on loan, Wolves, Aston Villa, Napoli on loan. And they're still at Aston Villa. Who is the winner? Who is the winner? Obviously, immediately people pulling out all of the Belgian names that they can think of, which, you have to respect. But who was the first person to get it right? The first person to get it right was Brent Burns. It was Brent Burns with Leandro Dendoncker. And Brent Burns, I feel like that's the first win for Brent Burns. Absolutely sensational. James Bidder was second. Ethan Udall was third. Sam Shapiro was fourth. And Ryan Henderson was fifth. Not a single person actually spelt it correctly. We had Deb Donker, Dedonker, Dedonjver, Dendonkit, and Dedonki. I wonder who was actually the first person to spell it correctly. Dendenka? No, that's also not how you spell it. I don't believe. Genuinely, who was Dendocker is also wrong. Dendocker is also wrong. Genuinely, when did the first person spell it correctly? Dendonker without the C. Lots of people put Dendocker. Genuinely, this is unbelievable. This is unbelievable. Chim. There you go. First person to spell it correctly. That is remarkable. That is genuinely not a single person spelled it correctly. That is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Anyway, Brent Burns doesn't care. Brent Burns doesn't care because Brent Burns won. And we don't care about correct spelling. As long as I can work out who it's meant to be, you win the game. So congratulations to Brent Burns. Congratulations to Devin. And that is going to be the end of the stream. Look, I appreciate you all for watching. If you could like, subscribe, all of that good stuff. We'll be back tomorrow, same time as usual, for another stream. But apart from that, I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic evening. Remember, there is no Twitch stream, unfortunately. And yeah, have a fantastic evening. And I'll catch you all tomorrow. Goodbye.